You got knocked up.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time tonight. We need to talk about Tyson Fury supplanting his legacy as the lineal champ and the man who once again beat the man, took the belt, the WBC belt, the most famed belt in heavyweight boxing, belt that was owned by Muhammad Ali, among others, from the Deontay Wilder, who, among other things, had set the heavyweight championship record for knockouts with a 95% knockout rate, something like 41 or 42. We all know about the draw that led to this some 18 months later, nearly 2 years later, quite honestly, between the rematch of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. The first time, a lot of folks thought that Fury had outboxed Wilder, but the way that Wilder had come on knocked Fury down, and then he got up right as the bell came. It's like, okay, cool, let's do it again. And this was the biggest heavyweight fight in more than 20 years, and there have been all kinds of pomp and circumstance, and we had all kinds of antics and all kinds of stuff that had gone on before they even got into the squared circle. We had Tyson Fury coming out to Patsy Cline's Crazy while on a throne carried by 4 women. That's all right, cool, whatever. Never seen that before. Know what else I never seen? A black man coming out with Sauron cosplay, like a mashup of War Machine and The Mountain. It was wild to see Deontay Wilder coming out there talking about Black Lives Matter, black this, black all, everything, and then Irish Traveler right in your face. Like, I thought that perhaps Tyson Fury was taking the wrong approach to fighting Deontay Wilder by putting on 30 pounds to fight the man. Talking about 273 that he was tipping the scales at. Deontay Wilder was also the biggest that he'd ever been, about 231. But he also had this monster right hand that, well, is a superpower unto itself. And he had a tremendous story of getting to this place of earning the WBC heavyweight championship belt. Along the way, going to take bronze. In the Beijing Olympics, he's nicknamed the Bronze Bomber, but the Gypsy King, one of the great names in boxing, showed exactly why he has to be one of the greatest of all time now. Going back to beating Vladimir Klitschko and on, but you look at the man, undefeated. You can't beat him, 6'9", 273. He said before this fight, after I beat Wilder, I'm going to fight out my contract with ESPN, that'll be that. Have nothing else to accomplish in the sport. I have the Ring Magazine belt. And he does. And it was not close. I mean, after the second round, Deontay Wilder was finished. Now, whether or not you agree that Tyson Fury caught him with a clean right hand, I think they hit Deontay Wilder behind his head. Upon review, it looked like he caught his ear, and that's why we got an exploded left eardrum. And from then on, Deontay Wilder's equilibrium was off. His balance was off. He was always just hanging on, a dead man walking. I had issues with Fury, though, in the middle with the antics, licking the blood off the man's neck, uppercutting out of breaks, not listening, so much so that he was getting docked point. But it didn't matter because he just kept putting Wilder on the ground. Now, I understand there scored slips, and there was at least one slip. But toward the end, Deontay Wilder just didn't know where he was. And I'm going, this is getting hard to watch after round 4. When Wilder is down 40-35 after a 10-8 round that some judge could have scored 10-7, and I wouldn't have blamed them. After the 5th round, I'm begging the referee, I'm begging the doctor, stop this fight. I know that everybody's got a lot of money on this. I know that there are lots of pay-per-view buys at $80 a pop, which is much higher than a normal pay-per-view. I understand that you have all sorts of money being bet on this fight. But my goodness, man, was I getting uncomfortable watching this. And this, for me, a man who grew up boxing. Boxing is one of my favorite sports. I know what to do with my hands. I'm here for it. But the way that Deontay Wilder was hurt and was just getting waylaid, I'm going, hey, look, I understand Tyson Fury got a job in there, but at some point, it looks like Larry Holmes versus Muhammad Ali. You just want it to end. Come to find out, wasn't the referee doing his job? Dock your points instead of stopping the fight, which would have settled all of that. You got Wilder's corner throwing in the towel, which was the right thing to do. And anybody that says that it wasn't the right thing to do because it's a heavyweight championship belt, you want to see the man go out on his shield, also has little humanity left with him. And that's the part of boxing that I wish got more dialogue, discourse. I want people to care about the men in the ring. I want them to remember that Deontay Wilder was once 19 just trying to make a community college basketball team. That he found out that his girlfriend was pregnant and that his girlfriend and he were going to have a daughter. And then that daughter had spina bifida. I want him to know that the man was doing beer runs in the middle of the night and then trying to train because he found a boxing gym in like some town in Alabama. I want him to know that he was self-taught and he got a trainer that had a promising career as a television host who was also self-taught, and that they made it happen. And that his daughter is on the cheerleading squad now. And that he's got 7 other kids. And that nobody wants for anything in the Wilder household. I want them to remember that Tyson Fury went through debilitating depression, among other things. And what he has suffered and gone through. And that this fight is going to be a large part of their legacy. It's going to be the thing that people remember the most about them, but it is not who they are. And I wanted that to come through when a referee that also was telling everybody to listen to him, but guess what? If the dude has his ear exploding and it looked like his jaw might have been about to get broken, he can't hear you. You have to take care of him. That's why you're in the ring. That's why the Nevada State Athletic Commission hired you, is to take care of these 2 dudes that are going to be laying out quite literally their lives. Tyson Fury. He is the heavyweight champ. He is the lineal champ. He's singing karaoke to end fights. I get the casual fan is very, very excited about all of this. And they're all here for the antics and not here for the sweet science. They probably didn't notice how well he moved his head, how quick he was snapping his jab, how he made himself small and large, how he used his weight to his advantage, how he kept Wilder moving backward, how his footwork was phenomenal while Wilder's just deteriorated, and as soon as he could not land his overhand right, he was through. He had no other tricks. But I did. And this was such an outstanding fight to watch. And I watched it by myself at my home because that's how I like to watch the fights, because I'm serious about watching the fights. I was in a text chat with 2 other dudes that I really love and I really trust, who busted my chops and I busted theirs, and this is going a little bit longer than I thought it would for a boxing upload, but this was a good fight. I wanted a different end. Like you, I probably wanted a more competitive match, but better fighter won. Don't get to say that enough. Doses.